Hey Gossip Ghouls, welcome to the Hot Ghouls Club, and if you love true crime and creepy cases, tap follow so you never miss an episode. As always, I'm your host Jamie.
And I'm Tara. That's fucked up.
I know. One day we won't have these issues.
One day we'll be rich and somebody else will be dealing with this.
Exactly, not us.
On a soundboard.
Mm-hmm. Like a legit one.
No, like they'll be watching it the whole time.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, hold on. We just lost power somewhere or something.
Exactly. And then we'll pay them.
And then we'll be like, okay, we're going to go get a cup of coffee, figure it out.
Yeah. Exactly. Because it'll be your day job.
Yeah. Like, no, literally.
Yeah.
I'd be like, this is what you literally get, $85,000 a year from us for. So fucking
exactly.
we'll do your job.
And we're gonna take a beat.
A beat.
So where do you want to start off?
First, welcome back to the Hot Ghouls Club.
I'm your host, Jamie.
And I'm Tara. We are so excited to be here, guys. We are excited to be here.
We're excited to be here. The only problem is that electronics fucking
aren't
fight
excited
us.
for us to be here.
No. And I don't get that.
But you know what's important is that we're here and you guys are here.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're here. You're listening to us. You've remembered to tune in.
Yes.
Because we have a new riveting episode of Hot Ghouls Club for you this week.
Yes.
Once again, we're doing something a little bit different because we are a little bit different and we're trying new things out. And obviously we've been teasing you guys for a couple of weeks, but this week is Shark Week. It's probably the holiest week of the year, without a doubt.
Holiday, we've decided.
International holiday.
Yes.
If I do say so myself.
You should.
As queen of the world. I'm just kidding. We have Shark Week. I did start Shark Week last night because it started last night. And the first thing that they aired, and I will say that I feel like my complaint about Shark Week over the last few years is that they're not trying to engage the audience enough. There needs to be funner
gore,
types
blood,
of episodes, gore and blood,
shredded
maybe
skin.
like legit movies. Like somebody needs to take Shark Week. There's so much potential. There's also so much to learn about sharks because sharks are beautiful creatures. They are not monsters.
No. And they shouldn't be fucking danced with.
But you know what they were with? Danced.
I hate that so much.
The first episode that kicked off Shark Week, which is being hosted by, I can't remember the guy's name, but Kevin apparently is like, yeah, it's the host of America's Funniest Home Videos. Like, duh. He's essentially saying it to me like that. Like, who
is it the guy
knows
that
host of, it's not Bob Saget.
No,
he's passed.
I thought the one that hosts American Home Videos is Carlton, but not Carlton.
No, it's not Carlton. It's some old white guy, and Kevin was acting the older guy. So he's hosting Shark Week, which is absurd.
I'm sorry, that is.
It should be like Jack Black or something, or maybe it should be somebody who has a movie coming out.
Honestly, Carlton.
It could be Carlton. Preferred. What if it's Brittany Broski, Trixie, Katya? That's how you revamp Shark Week.
Give it to the people that they want.
The first episode, new Dancing with Sharks. These divers, shark experts, whatever you want to call them, worked with an underwater choreographer to dance while feeding like chum to hammerheads and tiger sharks.
That's literally a disgusting.
It is so dangerous
way to give out funds.
So crazy. I don't even remember if they won any money. I don't even remember what they won, but they literally had people judging them, docking points. A woman was judging on the dance moves.
You just get like bragging
rights. You know, that's like America's. No, it's not America. The Great British Bake Off is only bragging rights.
Honestly,
you don't win any money.
I love them.
I know, but you don't win any money.
That is crazy that you don't win any money. I feel like they are making so much money off of this.
Thousands of hundreds of millions. Absolutely. But you know what? That's what makes it wholesome. That's why people still help each other because it's not money. It's just prestige.
That, like, yeah. But you know what? It is also, I guess, like the flip of a coin is a great way to network.
For all of them.
For if you're like really into like baking and you want like your store or like your chef or like you're trying to get hired.
Well, no, there are no professionally trained people are allowed to be on British Bake Off. Did you know that?
Really?
Yes, it's only amateur bakers. You can't have official background. You know how Jen went to culinary school? She would not be considered.
Because there's this woman that
I really don't know, but maybe. But yeah, no, I do know that they're not allowed to be professional bakers or chefs.
A few of them do own.
Nope. They have like baking they'll make cakes.
Yeah.
But just because they do it professionally, I guess.
But not like
but I don't think any of them ever are like super professional. Like they're still amateur.
Love that.
I love
That's
why it's like random guys and like grandmas or like just like such random people. They pick the best people, and I love the hosts.
I know they really do. I think the most recent season, there was like a Russian woman on there. Ugh, loved her. I think it was the most recent. If not, it was the one right before it. But
I haven't watched it in a bit. I gotta get it back into it. I love it.
It's so good. It's so good.
But we digress. Because this show is not about biting into a beautiful, delicious chantilly cake or whatever it's called. It's about biting in to the meat of it.
Love
the shark bites. So we're gonna do something similar to like Sinister Sisters or Death of the Party, where we both have some shorter cases to go over that are if not shark related, aquatic related or spooky related, all in the water, all of that types of fun stuff.
Yes.
And we're excited to do that. So we hope you guys enjoy it, and buckle in.
Sit back.
It's going to be a bumpy ride.
And get
oh my
ready
god,
for
we
the
should
surf.
cut that out. That's like from Harry Potter. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you can go first.
Okay. So I'm just going to cover a little bit of what I believe also inspired the cult classic Jaws, is the 1916 New Jersey shark attacks. So in early July 1916, New Jersey was sweltering under a scorching heat wave, and amidst a polio epidemic that left families desperate for relief, vacationers flocked to resort towns like Beach Haven and Spring Lake, seeking escape in the Atlantic. But few expected terror lurking beneath the waves. Dun, dun, dun. So just before dinner on July 1st in Beach Haven, Charles Vansant waded in knee-deep water with his dog when a dark fin appeared. There are a lot of people with their dogs at the beach, and there's like all of these people who were killed.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Witnesses later saw him clutching the dog and screaming, but he'd been grievously bitten. Lifeguard Alexander Ott and the bystander Sheridan Taylor pulled him ashore, but Vanson succumbed to blood loss at the Ingleside Hotel around 6:45 p.m.
Why was he at a hospital?
It was 1916. Just keep that in mind. And he couldn't get to the hospital quick enough. They brought him to the hotel.
Okay.
So
There's
he
like
was,
not that many
Charles E.
hospitals.
Vincent was on, I believe he was on vacation, and he was staying at that hotel. And so he was the first person attacked by one or more sharks.
Jesus.
Then 5 days later, on July 6th, a Swiss bellhop, Charles Bruder, dove into Spring Lake surf about 130 yards from shore. A shark severed both of his legs. Blood clouded the water in minutes. Lifeguards Chris Anderson and George White rushed to his aid, but Bruder bled to death en route to shore. To shore.
That was quick.
Quick. The gruesome scene sent women into hysterics and shuttered Spring Lake's glamorous hotels.
Oh my God.
Crazy. So these two...
What, was the bellhop just going in for funsies?
Yeah, he was just diving.
Okay.
Maybe he was on a break.
Like a surf boy.
And despite mounting cases, officials kept beaches open, which is what happened in Jaws, if you do recall. Some scientists speculated it might be turtles or fish. Like, come again? Or maybe, you know what?
Like
Maybe there's a serial
it's like
killer
an angry turtle that just like
swimming
took a few,
with a tank.
Probably.
And just, he has like Freddy, I almost said Freddie Mercury. Freddy Krueger claws, and is chopping people up. But this sparked public frustration.
Yeah, fair enough.
So then on July 12th, a mile inland and far from the ocean, brackish Matawan Creek should have been safe. But around 2 p.m., 11-year-old Lester Stillwell
No, a baby.
waded in with friends when a dorsal fin emerged. It dragged him under. Local man Watson Fisher, who's known by Stanley, entered the water in a rescue attempt, but he too was mauled and later died at Monmouth Hospital. No good deed.
No good deed goes
A third
unpunished.
attack shortly after targeted 14-year-old Joseph Dunn,
Oh my
who
God.
battled the shark while his brother pulled him to safety.
Oh no.
Joseph was critically injured, but survived.
Yes.
So at this point, there had been 4 deaths, but 5 attacks from the shark that looks like anyone had only ever seen the dorsal fin. And what's crazy is like that it was in a creek.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Are creeks fresh water?
Some sharks can travel into creeks,
But
yes.
I thought it was only bull sharks that could do freshwater.
Sometimes they do get confused.
I guess they don't die immediately.
Yeah.
But word of the creek attack spread like wildfire, and newspapers across the East Coast covered the story, and President Wilson even convened a cabinet meeting to address this ferocious man-eater.
Oh my God.
Beaches were netted or closed. Armed boats patrolled the waters. In Matawan, locals used nets, dynamite, and dynamited the creek to hunt the shark.
So fucking dramatic.
This is literally Jaws.
So stupid.
It was. I was watching it, like, it was on when I was at my dad's house, and like just the one, it was crazy. So many people were in the water. I was like, just get out of the fucking water.
Yeah.
You already know there's a shark. There's people hunting a shark.
Yeah.
And what was crazy is like the main guy that was hunting or like knew about the shark and wanted the mayor to close it down. He told his son to go like on his little like almost like boat thing in like the inlet. And that's where the fucking shark was. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Spoiler if you guys haven't seen Jaws. It's just 50 years old.
So much sweat was happening with all of their faces.
So much because this man the mayor is wearing a full linen suit with shoes walking on the beach.
Crazy.
Walking on the beach. It was crazy. It was mass hysteria too because the way people were rushing out of the water when somebody yelled shark. Yeah. They were like stampeding each other. So on July 14th, so this is 13 days after the first attack, just miles from Matawan Creek, taxidermist and lion tamer Michael Streisler caught a 7.5 foot, 325 pound shark in Raritan Bay. When dissected, it contained 15 pounds of human remains.
Oh my God.
Identified then as a great white shark, this discovery calmed the public's fears. Yeah. Though experts later debated whether or not one shark or multiple species were responsible. And that probably brings us back to the bull shark. Yeah. Because if it was in a creek, it was kind of probably a bull shark. And bull sharks are known to be around Long Island too.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
But early theories credited a single great white shark, but later research argued a bull shark capable of freshwater navigation could have been involved in the creek shark attacks.
Very aggressive.
So aggressive. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. The event forced ichthyologists to rethink shark behavior. Sharks could indeed pose a threat to humans in unexpected environments. So what was, I think, really crazy about the 1916 attack, was people really weren't afraid of sharks before this. Like, they really weren't like a mass hysteria. Like, I think that there had, I mean, obviously, like with like certain like really like crazy things that happened, but like people just like they weren't afraid of sharks like that. Like it really wasn't a big thing because sharks were never really that close to shore, I think, or maybe like beach, like the way that it was, like maybe it really wasn't.
I feel like a few things definitely are into play, like maybe because beaches became such a big thing because of the polio outbreak and everything else.
That's true, because they wanted to be outside.
Yeah, and there probably wasn't normally that many people on the beaches, and also just word of mouth and the way things can travel are just continuously amping up every single year at that point, and just that's able to circulate a lot more than what it had been able to in the past.
No, absolutely. It really I mean, it's crazy to see how things change, but like we even saw it with COVID. Obviously, everybody was way more outside. Like you have more of that like need to be outside, but still kind of be near people, but don't have to be near them. You're only with your own little circle. Yeah. And I mean, the shark was viciously attacking people. Like sharks really aren't, like they're not really supposed to be like that. Like typically they'll bite into you. They'll know you're not like a fat little seal, because they're confused, like especially when they attack surfers. Yeah. And it looks like a seal from the bottom. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know. I'm always on the shark side. But this shark was like kind of a dick.
Shark was a little
like
bit
kind of a dick. Like it killed a man who was clutching onto his dog.
Come on. Yeah.
A dog. And I saw in another one that there was another dog with somebody else too while they were being attacked. But thankfully no accounts of dead dogs. So we're good, guys.
The owners did.
Safe.
Their best.
Like 300 days from a dog death. Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was just like the 1916 shark attacks.
That was really good. Thanks. I did love that one. I saw that one for a second, but I didn't go into it because the other ones caught my eye a little bit more.
Yeah, caught me eye.
Caught me eye a little bit.
She's a pirate at heart.
I am. So for my episode that I'm going to be doing right now is, so what our idea was going to be like a real case and then a fake case.
Or something spooky. Yeah. Related to sharks. Yes.
So my fake tale is more like folklore than fake. Because it's something that people will die on the hill saying it's real. And then others believe it's just made up fairy tale. So I'm going to let that sit with the listener and let them choose what they want to believe.
Okay, go on. Do tell.
So I'm going to be talking about the Elka Luce Serene Chilota from Chiloé. It's from a island off Chile, Chiloé. And for as long as ships have been sailing, there has not been a drought of folklore and mythical tales of adventures out at sea. Oh my God.
We know that because of the freaking book we just read, The Wager.
Yes.
There is no shortage of scary things out at sea.
Absolutely no shortage.
And most of them are man.
Yeah, usually, to be fair. So as we know, some tales that seemed incredulous actually have eventually come out to be backed with proof, like how old mariners would say to be careful on a voyage because sharks can smell death. And this is actually true to a degree because they can smell blood and they can sense vibrations and they have a sense of smell that can bring them in from miles away. And it's the same thing as the Kraken where, you know, you're told about this big monstrous squid that can squeeze the life out of ships and sink them to the bottom of the sea. And for a while we believe this to be false, but then there's actually a squid that was documented being over 40 feet long, which is crazy.
That's fucking terrible.
And I'm sure during that time where a lot of less hunters were at sea and, you know, sea creatures can be left alone and be undisturbed, they probably could have made it out a little bit bigger than 40 feet long. Mm-hmm. So let's get into the tale of Elka Luce ship, which is also known as the Bouquet de Arte, which is like also known like that's in English that's magic ship, and then there's Barcoche or Bouquet de Fuego, which is fire ship. Also, please forgive me. I love the tale, but the words are getting to me.
Even just what you're saying, you know what it reminds me of? Is it the Flying Henchman or the Flying Dutchman?
Oh, yes. Yeah. It is actually, it's like pretty similar to that.
Oh, cool.
I did see that. That was something that I kind of looked at, but I was like, I don't know. This one's going to bring me in a little bit more. So the tale goes that there's a beautifully massive white ship, and it has 3 masts, 5 sails, and that the ship resembles pretty heavily with a 16th or 17th century Spanish galleon, which is really just like a clipper ship, like what you see. So it's hard to differentiate unless you're like an actual nautical person.
Okay.
So it's just like an old school ship, and it said that when the ship becomes within viewing distance, you could see it completely alight, that it has like this white aura and white light coming out of the ship's little windows, and that you would hear music and laughter with chatter, like just like revelry coming up of the ship. So at the first glance, the tale actually sounds pretty delightful because it's like people just partying on a ship, right? But the sinister twist is that the voices are actually belong to the souls of men lured to their death at sea by sirens, or they were kidnapped fishermen that turned into mythical creatures, and the ship is run by sorcerers known as brujos chilotes and other versions of men captured at sea by this vessel, but then forced to work until they die too and become part of the phantom crew working with the captive seamen to death. Love.
That's like exactly the Flying Dutchman, I think.
Probably. Yeah, no.
I think that's super. Yeah. Well, I only know it through SpongeBob.
Yes.
And the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes.
So that's my only knowledge of it. But yeah, I think it would. They imprison men. Mm-hmm. Pirate men.
Pirate men.
To work off their debt.
Yes.
Whatever that debt is to J.V. Jones.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yes.
Interesting.
So no, it's like very much so like the same exact vibe. But I think this is more, I guess it's just like more centralized to like the Chilean islands. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So
which is where the wager was. Did you know that?
Oh my God, yeah.
It was in the southern Chilean islands.
Oh my God.
Completely inhabitable.
Yeah, it's like crazy there.
No, you can't live there.
No,
unless you're those
you
people.
don't want to. Yeah. But they were really nice.
No, they were super nice.
Like, they had their head on their shoulders.
Their survival instincts were sharp as a tack.
They could, like, die for, like, 13 minutes.
They literally, truly, it was, I could never. I would die day one.
Quick, short time.
I would take it out. I would be like, we're not going to do this.
Yeah. I'd hand you a rock.
It's like 1612. I'm making up a date. There's nothing to live for.
Nothing.
There's nothing to go home to.
Everything. Your life is so fucking hard.
Bed's not even comfortable.
You wake
the
up.
way they were, they're swinging on hammocks.
Gonorrhea was running rampant.
Scurvy was running truly rampant. Scurvy was just the lack of vegetables.
Yes.
I was floored. I was like, what?
It's crazy.
All they needed was like an orange.
Truly.
Or a piece of like a carrot.
Yeah.
That's it.
And they would have been fine.
But they were
absolutely fine.
Melting from the inside out.
Pyramid. Food pyramid.
If they just had their food pyramid, yes.
Yeah.
But they didn't know about, there's nothing to live for. They don't even learn about that for like 300 years.
Truly.
Take yourself out. You're 1612. You're on a wooden ship in a war you don't even know what you're fighting for. You just went through the Drake's Passage.
Yep.
And you're not even the main ship. You're like the supply ship. And you're the supply ship. And you crash and you sink. Just take it out.
Tara feels strongly about this book if you haven't.
Yeah. I actually liked it.
I know. Yeah, you did.
It wasn't bad. I remember a lot of it.
She's in for it.
But now I'm getting dumb shipwreck recommendations.
Yeah.
Bring me back my Smut Kindle Unlimited, please.
Please. Smut's where is that?
Okay, sorry. Go on.
So the ship is said to have been also able to travel at like unworldly speeds or otherworldly speeds. They've been seen
both unworldly and otherworldly.
All the different kinds of worlds. Not this world.
Different worlds, just not this one.
Just not this one.
Underworld.
That too, actually. So they were apparently it could also have been seen that it could like dip into the sea like at night. Like you'll watch it, it'll reappear all of a sudden and it goes away again just so quick.
Sick.
And sometimes they'll float up, sometimes they'll float down to the sea. So there's like different accounts of like how the ship kind of like reacts or goes. So one of the things that is said too is that the ship, seeing the ship is like said to be a bad omen, is that you then have to be wary of drownings, disappearances, or deadly storms. Sightings of the Elka Luce have been in writing since 1911 and even earlier than that, but that's just one of the latest ones. That though people throughout the decades have said that they believe they spotted the ship, it came without warning and it does not halt or respond to any passing ship signals, and that as soon as it appears, it disappears either into the horizon or, like I said, the sinking below the sea's glassy surface.
I love that.
Me too. And they were saying that like
Oh, I had a sneeze.
God bless you.
I had a big sneeze coming.
God bless you.
There it is. To have that recorded.
It was so loud. It was off the chart.
That's just my dainty little sneeze.
You're just such a dainty lady, and then all of a sudden your sneezes are like the most aggressive things to ever come out of you.
Thank you. No, it's been ridiculed my whole life. Like as an adult, people still say things. I don't know how.
Sorry, that's crazy.
And it hurts me. Like people are like, "Is that painful?" I'm like, "Yes."
I feel like there has to be a different way for you than that.
I am truly my father's daughter. My dad drove me to work on Thursday and got into a road rage incident. I was like, God. We're related.
Yeah.
We are related.
I can see it.
He, like, a guy and him were both getting onto the ramp to get onto Southern State. The guy wouldn't let my dad get in front, even though my dad was in front. They stayed together on the ramp side by side. My dad on the grass.
Of course.
And so then my dad
on the grass.
My dad gets in front of him, brake checks. And then as the guy, so on the left side, on the left lane, and then the guy gets into middle lane. My dad just swerves right into the middle lane in front of him. No blinker. No, like gliding on ice. The guy goes to get into the right lane. My dad does it again. And I'm like, all right, let's pump the brakes.
I love that did you say anything at all into like that end bit?
No, no. I mean, I was like, fuck this guy.
That's what's crazy too. like you were just like, yeah, fuck him, Dad.
I was like, oh my god, okay.
Stay on the grass, Dad. Don't let him in.
I was like, oh my god. No, I said oh my god a few times. I didn't tell him to stop.
Until I would have been down my dad's throat yelling at him. I'd be like, absolutely not.
Are you kidding me? I was like, fuck you, guy. I was over like leaning over my dad. I was like, fuck this guy. And then I was laughing towards the end. I looked over, the guy was laughing, and the guy kind of was laughing too, I think. So yeah, that was like literally just a very normal day for me to go to work.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Truly crazy. But anyway. So I'm so glad you did a mythical case like that, because I also have a mythical case.
Let's go.
So mine is a little bit different, but it's also like down there. So it's called
down on the deep blue sea.
The deep blue sea. So it's the Lusca. It's the sea monster of the Caribbean.
Yes.
So the Lusca is a legendary sea creature said to inhabit the underwater blue holes of the Bahamas. So you know how like there's darker blue holes like you fly over?
Yes.
So particularly around the Andros Island. Blue holes are naturally occurring marine sinkholes, some of the deepest in the world, featuring vertical caves and strong tidal flows. These locations are known for mysterious disappearances, unusual currents, and limited visibility, all which have contributed to the Lusca's mythos.
That's terrifying.
What?
Like the deep blue sea with the undertides?
Yeah.
Hate.
No, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
The Lusca is commonly described as half octopus, half shark hybrid. Super real.
That's crazy.
Though some accounts refer to it as a giant cuttlefish or a massive squid-like creature. Size estimates in folklore range from 75 to over 200 feet. That's a pretty big range. Though no scientific evidence supports the existence of an octopus or shark that large. But you know what? That's why would it be a mythical, you know what I mean? Scientists aren't going to find it.
Yeah.
Witnesses describe the Lusca as having the upper body of a shark and long, powerful tentacles extending from its lower half. It is often said to be capable of sudden attacks, pulling swimmers or divers underwater, capsizing boats, and even dragging large animals from shoreline. Some believe it can change color or hide in underwater caves, mimicking the camouflage abilities of an octopus.
You know, that kind of reminds me of
what
is Moana when what's the guy's name? Maui, and he like turns himself into the shark head, and then he has his own little feet at the bottom.
Yeah. That's true. My favorite part of Moana is the giant shiny crab.
I love that whole entire musical skit.
No, I'm shiny. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like the best thing that's ever happened in my life.
It just scratches.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's I've like gone on YouTube just to watch that.
Absolutely, me too. Many times.
Okay, the Lusca. So there have been no verified photographs, videos, or physical remains of the Lusca. Obviously, like nobody has remains of the Loch Ness, but obviously it's real.
Do you hear that?
Yeah, it's a motorcycle. It's the Lusca. She's here. However, some cryptozoologists, a totally real job, suggest it may be a misidentified giant octopus or other large cephalopod species not yet formally documented. Others argue that sightings could be the result of natural tidal phenomena within blue holes, such as strong suction currents or whirlpools, which could easily disorient or drown a swimmer. Whatever.
Yeah, I feel like those are so lame. I got like the natural phenomena of it all. Like, no, it's not. No. It's a real ghost ship, and it's a real squid shark.
It's a real ghost ship. Amazing. One of the earliest cases linked to the Lusca lore is 1896, the St. Augustine carcass, also known as a galobster, which some believe to be the remains of a Lusca. Modern analysis later concluded it was likely whale tissue. I call bullshit.
Yeah.
Convenient. The Lusca has become a part of regional Caribbean folklore and pop culture. It has appeared in documentaries, including an episode of River Monsters, where marine biologist Jeremy Wade explored the blue holes of Andros to investigate reported sightings. No creature was found, obviously. They don't find the Bigfoot, but the show did not rule out the existence of large octopus species in the region. In summary,
everything's real.
Yeah, and that's all. The Lusca is real, and so is the Dutchman, and so are great white sharks that are really scary from Jaws.
Exactly.
And that's why, you know what? Go in the water, because the water is meant to be swam in.
Yeah, it is. And enjoyed.
And if you get eaten by a shark, then you get eaten by a shark.
And if you don't get your hair wet when you're at the ocean, I can't be your fucking friend.
Get your what?
I actually have a hair. I said a hair so clearly.
You said heroin? Like you literally said heroin.
I said hair so clearly. No, I do have friends that don't get their hair wet. It's crazy to me. I don't understand how they live their life. Not you. I've been in the ocean with you.
I don't like religiously not get my hair wet. Sometimes I do decide not to put my hair in the water because I hate brushing my hair.
But that's different. I feel like you're talking about like a pool.
No, like sometimes when I go in the ocean, I don't put my head in the water because I just don't want to.
It's crazy.
But not because it's like on principle. Like I do love swimming. Mm-hmm. I love a good dive. Yes. Well, I don't know how to dive, but I love diving when I'm in the water. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was just at the ocean and I was sad I couldn't go in because I just got my tattoo. Mm-hmm. I went in like probably deeper than I should have. Let's cut that out. Because I did touch it, but I did take a shower right after. And I'm fine. But I was so sad. I couldn't. Everyone's like, the water's amazing. I'm like, you can go fuck yourself.
That's so rude that they would say that too.
Kevin went in, dove, swam, like a fish.
Like a fish in the sea.
I just hung out with Maisie by the shore because she hates the water apparently. She does.
It's kind of, yeah, Archer's
she was
not a fan.
She was scared.
Archer's super not a fan right now. We brought him to the ocean for the first time, which is crazy to say because we live on Long Island, but
like, anywhere you can drive 10 minutes to the beach.
Less. And he wasn't a fan. He does like little beaches.
I love a little beach as a little kid.
Mm-hmm. They're easy and the waves aren't so big and scary.
We tried to take her to Quarry Beach in Sayville, but it was closed because it was fucking disgusting and the sludge was watery.
I cannot stand sludge.
It was like sludge water and it smelled horrible.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go. I would not go in. All right. And then for the last of tonight's tales, I'm going to be covering a ghost yacht, but it's a real yacht.
Yeah, get it, girl.
So it's where 3 men were once setting sail to Townsville, Queensland, Australia. They mysteriously disappeared when their yacht was found adrift. And to get into this case, we're going to go back to April of 2007, where 2 brothers, Peter and James Tunstead, and their neighbor, Derek Batten, had planned a trip around northern Australia to Western Australia, starting at the eastern side. And the men were in their late 50s to early 60s. They were retired and they all lived in Perth, Western Australia. So they're essentially just going to launch out the east and then make their way back to their hometown, which is on the western coastal Australia.
Okay.
So the men had an idea to take a yacht from Eerie Beach, Queensland, Australia. How many times can I say that? But you're welcome. And travel. Nope, I'm not doing that again. So the trip in total was going to be planned out to be about 8 weeks. As it turns out, they did plan to leave earlier than their April 25th date, but due to bad weather, it was postponed. So when the new set out date came, it was said that the men appeared to be a bit anxious because of it, but they were overall still excited to be finally getting it underway. There were more conversations with the ship's previous owner too, where the men were expressing their trepidations about navigating the ship's global positioning system. And that's when, I think his name's Graham Douglas, forgive me if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but that's who previously owned the ship, said outright that if they weren't fully ready to go, not to, because he knew that the waters were going to be choppy. It wasn't going to be like such an easy sail, but it was something doable for people that had a good undertaking of what they were doing as far as skippering a yacht. So now the man had some nautical backgrounds, like altogether. The skipper had the most, being the new owner of the ship, and that was Derek Batten. He had taken and was trained in about 3 different courses that were necessary to operate a vessel, which was great.
Okay.
So he did what he needed to do, essentially.
So he took 3 courses and he's driving a yacht.
Yeah.
Perfect.
But it was like weeks worth of courses. It's not like just like...
Oh, that was just literal 3 classes. No. Okay, I was that's absurd.
No, he did one of the courses that he did was like 6 weeks or something.
Okay.
So the Tunstead brothers, they had less formal training than he did, but they were brought up around boats like for their entire life since they were kids.
Okay.
I mean, being on the coastal island, a lot of people sometimes do get brought up around boats, but they weren't really the one operating
We would not be able to do this.
I couldn't.
No, I would immediately be there.
I would be the brothers, and I would be fucking around fishing on a yacht while somebody else takes care of the heavy work.
I guess, but like I guess, yeah. But you know still, not enough.
Scurry. So, and although they were still pretty novice, so like their understanding really goes into sailing, and they were pretty is this a novice?
It's novice.
Novice. They were pretty novice in their understanding of what really goes into sailing and operating boats and yachts. So they still obviously had more knowledge that they could have had before they launched, but they weren't going anywhere too crazy. They were just following the coastline. So when the days came,
so easy, as we know,
the
wager. That is all of my nautical knowledge.
It's truly, just keep bringing it out.
I am. I'm a sailor now.
Ask me anything.
Anything. Like, I know how they slept.
I literally know
in a hammock
how they turned a blind eye and everything.
I could figure it out. Yeah, I know. Like, if I had to sit there and think about it again, I could probably figure out what it meant, you know?
So when the day comes for them to set sail on the 15th, like I was saying, and one of the men was able to talk back to their wives about just a half an hour into their journey. So very quickly they had that conversation, but as it turns out, that was the last time any of them were ever heard from. Half an hour into the start of their trip. That was it. So it is until April.
And how long was the trip supposed to be? Did you know?
8 weeks.
Oh, wait. I thought it was like a day trip where I'm dead.
No. 8 full weeks.
And even 30 minutes in was the last time they ever heard from anyone. Or anyone ever heard from them, sorry.
Yes. Yeah.
Not a fuck you. No, I'm just kidding.
Fuck you. What do you need or nothing? So it isn't until April 18th when it becomes abundantly clear that something had gone horribly wrong when a yacht had been spotted adrift near Great Barrier Reef. Over 200...
I want to see the Great Barrier Reef. I just wanted to say that.
Oh, I would love to see that too. Mm-hmm. But that's all the way in Australia.
Yeah, I'm going to go there one day for sure.
Good for you. I could never.
Maybe I'll drag you.
What part of the world?
What if we toured?
I guess.
What if wow.
All right.
Okay. I'm getting paid.
If you make me. If you pay me. Yeah. No, they have like scary bugs and animals and stuff in it. It's a far, far long trip. It's like 1,000,000 hours.
You know what? They might have scary animals, but we got fucking lake spiders, okay?
Yeah, we do.
All right.
It is terrifying. So they were spotted over 200 miles from where their next destination was, which was Townsville, Queensland, Australia. 2 days later, after being spotted, the nautical authorities were finally able to catch up to them and confirm that the vessel that they saw adrift was the Kaz 2, which was the boat that they owned. I don't know if I said that. I don't think I did, but you're welcome now. Anyways.
Welcome. You're welcome.
You're welcome. Once the authorities managed to get aboard to figure out why the vessel wasn't responding to radio calls, they were instead met with more questions than answers. So they did a sweep of the boat and confirmed that there was no members aboard of the ship. Trying to get some sort of explanation as to where the crew could have gone, they looked around at their belongings, and the thing that struck odd was that everything was in working order and everything was neat. There's not really much just messed up around the hull. I think that's what they call it, the hull. So after they kind of saw that everything was fairly neat, the motor they did notice was actually still on, and that's what took them a little bit longer to catch up to them when it was originally spotted.
Still on?
It was still on.
And they haven't seen any of the humans yet.
No, not a single human in sight.
Not a human sighting. Not a humanoid?
Not a humanoid. The crew belongings laying in their respective places, as there was no clear disruption of the belongings to suggest any sort of like big scene happened, like whether it be like a fight or something to explain the missing people. Not only that, but all of the food and there wasn't not only that, but there was food and cutlery that was actually set out ready to get eaten, which is like crazy. There was also a laptop that was open on the table, and all the electronics that were belonging to the ship was in full working order. So they couldn't really explain like what was the issue. The only suspicious items that were out of place, they did find that there was some knives scattered along the floor of the life raft. Almost looks like somebody kind of grabbed it from the
block.
Yeah,
like a knife block. Or
no,
something?
Like literally little like butter knives and shit like that. I think.
Okay.
Like little
on the life
serrated
raft?
knives. No, they were scattered along the floor. And the life raft could not be located. I did not finish my sentence.
Okay, sorry. I was so confused. And the life raft could not be located.
Mm-hmm. And the last thing, which is kind of the biggest main thing, was that the mainsail had been completely shredded. So outside of that, everything else seemed there was no blood. There was no knickknacks thrown about in the hall. There was no like really anything besides,
and all their stuff was still there too.
All their stuff was still there. Yeah, there's everything else was like very neat order.
No blood.
No blood.
No dead bodies.
No dead bodies.
Okay.
Nothing except for the knives on the inside of the hole and then the shredded
sail. That's a big thing.
That is a big thing.
That's pretty big.
They also weren't sure whether or not the life raft had actually been packed in the first place. So they couldn't really necessarily whether or not that had to do with.
That's a big.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. Let me figure that out.
It did have a side dinghy.
It was still there?
That was still there. So it's just like a lot of questions. You know what I mean? So a huge air and sea search ensued that involved volunteer rescue units from several towns and the Townsville Coast Guard, 2 rescue helicopters, 9 airplanes, 2 commercial vessels. And this search happened from April 18th until the next day of the 21st. Oh, into the next couple of days till the 21st. And that's when the first search was called off. They initially kind of hoped that the men had somehow managed, because it wasn't far off the coast, to have swimmed back to land. And they were kind of waiting to see if there was any updates. Because they didn't see anything.
That just makes no sense. Why would they even get off of the boat? Why would they swim to shore? Why would they?
Yeah. Unless
they like did drugs. But then where were the drugs?
No, yeah, there was no drugs, nothing like that. And unfortunately, after 2 days, the men were still missing. Another coastline search ensued to locate the 3 men, but again, was called off by the 25th, with Derek, James, and Peter still missing. Investigators went into doing a deep search of the cast too, and what they found was on board was not giving them any answers still. Besides the previously stated items they were able to locate a firearm that belonged to Derek, but it had all of the ammunition, and it was clear that the firearm had never been used. And that was actually locked in a box too. So what they were able to find was, after gathering the data that was stored on the GPS, they did see that the vessel, after launching on the first day, had been steered northeast toward an area in the sea where rough waters and a storm was gathering. So, and it was later that day, that was when the Cas 2 became adrift. So same launch day, went out, they went out, and then all of a sudden the boat stopped steering. It was just drifting. So another thing that they were able to find, which helped pinpoint where the men were in the was a video that was recorded. And they had done that around 10 a.m. that day and showed all 3 men in a very calm demeanor, either fishing, sailing, but they were all without life jackets, which is pretty key. It also shows them sailing in already choppy water, so you can see that the waters were affected by that storm. The location was about 20 miles, just slightly north of where they had originally launched. With a month of... And then that was it. So there becomes months with no updates, no leads. There was an inquest, which is a public inquiry to determine the circumstances surrounding a person's death when it appears to be from an unknown, violent, or unnatural cause, something I just found out. And they did it into the 3 men's death. At this hearing, Derek Ben's wife backed Derek with confirming all the training that he put into becoming a proper skipper of a sailboat, that he had spent about 25 years of his life around boats as well. And it also came out that about 2 days earlier to April 18th, when the Cas 2 was initially found and reported adrift, that another sailor had seen it drifting. So before the helicopters had initially seen it. So it had at least been a few days. Had at least been a few days before that. And he said that when he seen it, he just kind of was like, huh, that's weird. It's kind of like drifting around, like the sailboat's drifting in waters that it really shouldn't be in, because it's like sandbars and coral reef and like all that other stuff. And he was just like, whatever. Yeah, because his rule was that no other vessel approaches another vessel. I guess that's like I don't know. a rule.
That's stupid.
That's a stupid fucking rule.
Theory.
Mm-hmm.
Set sail. Having a great time.
Yeah.
No, they would have put the anchor down if they were all jumping into the water to swim.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe they're like, the boat won't go far.
No, that the water's really crazies. Because they saw that it was choppy. So if you see choppy water, usually you would put...
I just don't know what happened.
I know. So,
and I don't like that.
And with the trial or the hearing, it was ended with an investigator explaining that his findings of the boat cleared it of ever being a crime scene, that nothing led it to any sort of foul play possible. After all of this, we're still left with the unknown of what happened to these three men and what their fates were. There have been plenty of speculations, of course, like the one that you just made, or and also could have been mutiny with planned murder suicides to piracy because of the ship's fenders being out, and that's a buffer for a ship to be docked with another ship or to be docked at a wharf. But authorities are on the belief that one of the brothers were trying to free a lure that had become entangled in one of the ship's rudders, and that while doing so accidentally fell over, and that in that frenzied help, the other brother trying to reach for the one, he fell over too and met that same fate. All while the skipper was seeing what's happened, knowing that with the sail up, he's sailing away from his friends at dangerous speeds and he needs to get back to them in time. And in his frenzied help, he left the helm, but with the winds blowing up, it could have easily had the boom swinging the sail across, and in turn now knocking Barrett into the sea, meeting the same fate as his friends. But even with these possible explanations, there are only a few things that are certain. The shredded sail had never been given an explanation or reason to be in the state that it was found, and the bodies of the three men were never seen again. That's it.
That's so sad.
I know, that is crazy.
That's crazy, because you think you're gonna go on a cute little trip.
Yeah, they said it was a luxury trip. Like they had it planned out. They were planning it for like half a year.
Dead.
First
that
day.
Sucks.
First day dead.
First day.
Couldn't even enjoy the first the first 6 hours.
Dead.
They were probably dead within the first story.
Oh, that's so depressing. Well, all of these stories were truly depressing.
Yeah.
And really to show you all of the horrors of the sea, whether it's shark attacks, mythical boats, mythical giant squid shark creatures, or real life fucking problems. Fucking abandonment of the boat. But yeah, no, it was horrible. But thank you so much for your stories. I love them.
Thank you for yours. You did an amazing job.
Thank you. We hope you enjoyed our aquatic filled episode.
Yes, and with that, we'll be catching you in the shadows.
Stay ghouly.